Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news that summarise what's been going on for the first week of March 2022 and what's coming in the near future. The Jump Down and Ninetales lockdown events are now over. However, Alpha 3.17 for Star Citizen is right on the horizon, with expectations that it will start testing on the PTU within the next couple of weeks, at least with Eva Carty. I'm hoping that we see the live build, or at least open PTU, at the end of March. We saw in Inside Star Citizen that Alpha 3.17 would now have a river on Microtech added. We will also have the ability to actually go into water by making sure we've got a helmet on and then just walking in there. And that's not just in that river, but also the oceans as well. So that'll be interesting to see. I think they're updating some animations as well, so it doesn't just like walking straight into the water, but that'll be interesting to see exactly what we can find around those areas. We do know that the oceans haven't had a full polish pass or anything like that, so they might not be too full of content. We'll also be able to ride hover vehicles on top of water as well, both oceans and rivers. We know as well we're going to start to see the reputation and hostility changes for factions like the security forces and pirates in Stanton, where if they like you a lot because you've done a lot of missions for them, they may protect you and come to your aid, or at least not shoot you. Conversely, if you've got a bad reputation with them, they may shoot you on sight. It sounds like the lion's share of the reputation updates though are coming with Alpha 3.18, but it's possible we'll see some little bits of them in 3.17 still. On the roadmap update, we did have one other thing other than rivers being added, and that was the dynamic mission system being added to the progress tracker. This will allow select mission types to be dynamically tailored to current events, missions will be customizable, and payment will accurately reflect the distance travelled and risk involved. It's paid to have this sort of work that they're doing now on that completed in September. It would be great if it could make it in-game by the end of the year. We know that this is all tying into Tony Zerovic's dynamic universe simulation and all that sort of jazz as well, so it's great to hear that the dynamic mission system is getting a load more work this year. This week's sneak peek appears to be a makeshift generator on a rundown Pyro station, and we do know that so much work has gone into Pyro over the last few months, as we are now on the road to Pyro in 2022. Does that mean we'll see Pyro and jump points and server meshing at the end of the year? Maybe. Maybe not. We don't know for sure. We had a Star Citizen live with the narrative team, so let's summarise some of the highlights here. They want to have reputation-based missions with deep lore eventually, things like the Tessa Bannister mission we've had previously, but with systems in place to support the gameplay there more. Lore can often be a launching point, inspiration, or even concept for gameplay, but it may just be there to build out the feel of the universe without inhibiting future plans or ideas. It is important for the game, and it is important to flesh things out with lore to make the sort of immersion of the universe much more sort of immersive. But some lore may be incomplete at this stage. Well, obviously loads of it's going to be incomplete. There may be references to a throwaway ship or animal. It may be that they're planning to come back to some of this lore and some of these sort of mentions of a particular ship that you've only mentioned once later. They very much try to not fully lock in rigid lore, as the process needs to be malleable for additions and changes. So they will retcon or change lore if they need to. The game and its lore are very much still being built out at this stage. The needs of ships, features, and specific teams drive a lot of what the lore team does, and community feedback, again, that will change and sort of evolve some lore. If a creature concept, for example, is required, the artist would get some direction from the lore team, maybe telling them about the planet that they're on and where they evolved and what other life forms they've sort of roughly got planned for that area. But they do want the artists to get creative and sort of do their own thing and sort of evolve their own ideas, and then they will often go, well, actually, we'll write the lore and edit the lore around this as well. So they don't want to hamper the creative process, but they will give some feedback and requirements, but as I said, they're quite malleable with this. Banu slave traders will be a thing in-game. If they're in UEE space, sometimes they might be ignored, even though it may be illegal to do that in UEE space. There are cultural differences between the UEE, the humans, and the Banu, and the star systems involved are vast at the same time, and obviously human-Banu relations are normally pretty good, though it's going to create some interesting tension and choices. You're going to see, obviously, some humans that sell other humans off to the Banu, things like that. We've seen sort of that suggested in Squadron 42 as well as one of the themes that the pirates do there. Cloud Imperium have also confirmed that the previously cancelled gameplay feature teams Q&A will be rescheduled, so we will be getting that at some point. More details of that once I know more. We had a pair of monthly reports come out in the last week. For the Persistent Universe, we saw a lot of work move forward for Pyro as they start testing out Pyro 3 in more detail. They're also building out Reclaimer derelicts and settlements and working on lots of the outpost stuff. Dynamic events appear to be a major focus as Cloud Imperium work on various new events, some of which we may see later in the year. The Banu Merchantman is now in its grey box phase, which is awesome that it's powered through its white box phase so quickly once it obviously was in active development. The Drake Vulture has had various paint schemes made for it as it approaches its 3.18 release, along with the first version of hull stripping, salvage and repair. Various parts of the Drake Corsair saw work and changes to its layout. The Hull A and Scorpius are scrambling through their final stages, hopefully for a 3.17 release again. We also know that Cloud Imperium have been working on a couple of unannounced ships and vehicles, and the star map continues its overhaul, which is direly needed in-game. Squadron 42's report had them bringing a couple of chapters to a vertical slice quality, so that's actually quite big, as those two chapters are effectively extremely playable and finished looking, at least at a glance, being compared to, well, a more advanced version of the vertical slice we had a few years ago. This could be for internal use, or it might be something that we see later in the year, but Squadron 42 appears to be in much more of an advanced state, as many areas are now sort of starting to come together as they try to finish it out. There is also more generally a massive push on AI and engine, with Cloud Imperium refining behaviors and compatibility, as well as generally how NPCs interact with not just the player, but each other as they pass by unexpectedly in a scene together, how they talk to each other, who talks, why do they talk, who are they talking to. Sort of, there's a huge mishmash of things that can happen, and I'm really interested to see how this plays out and how it all works together. For the engine, the move to Vulkan and Gen 12 renderer continues, while also picking up some more steam. Really looking forward to having a more performant, better looking game. There's also potentially a lot coming up in the next few weeks, but it's Alpha 3.17 that's going to be the focus of attention. There doesn't look like there's going to be a persistence wipe for that patch, but that isn't a confirmation, that's just my expectation. Beyond what we talked about for Rivers, and maybe some of that reputation stuff and the Hull A and Scorpius, we also have a few other features that should be in Alpha 3.17. They sort of have been confirmed for the most part. Expanded selling of FPS items and gear. Ship-to-ship refueling, with the Starfarer now being able to fill up with quantum and hydrogen fuel and sell it to other players that need a top-up. The hospital on Hurston is finally opening up. There are new variants of clinics on stations. We have deeper character customization and detail and variety with new DNA head updates. There are mining gadgets adding deeper gameplay to the mining gameplay loop, and potentially the most exciting feature, the coffee shop vendor AI, proving that a Starbucks can pop up anywhere, even in a game's development. But more seriously, it's going to be interesting to see what they can actually showcase for simple specific job NPCs like this at this stage. I don't think the bartender was a particularly great implementation of the bartender. Obviously, there was lots of little issues and bugs, but let's see what they've got for this coffee shop vendor. And, you know, does it make the world feel more alive? Are they really interactive, interesting, fully working NPCs, which do cool stuff that make you go, oh, that's actually pretty cool? And that's what I'm hoping for, but let's wait and see. Boom. That's it for your weekly news summary of what's been going on in the Star Citizen universe. We are keenly awaiting Alpha 3.17. I actually sat down and talked to Levelcat the other day. He's a big sort of Battlefield YouTuber that's now sort of wanting to do a bit of Star Citizen content, or at least very interested in the game. And we sort of talked about what he would love for the game, what he sort of fantasized about for it, and our opinions on where we thought it was going and that sort of stuff. I'll link that video down below because I think it was interesting to have a talk. It's on his channel. Check it out. Anyway, are you excited for Alpha 3.17? Cloud Imperium have said that we are on the road to Pyro this year. Do you think this could mean that we will see Pyro and Alpha 4.0 by the end of the year? Or do you think there's no way? Or do Cloud Imperium not even know yet? When do you think Cloud Imperium are going to get the Banu Merchantman in our hands? Do you enjoy events like the Nine Tails Lockdown and Jumpdown, what did you think of them? Or are you waiting for something new? You're like, oh, we've already played that a bit. Let's do something new. I'm looking forward to new events and that new patch. I wonder if Cloud Imperium will start talking about their new offices and moving to them soon and how that's going to affect the development. What do you think? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I am French and sophisticated. I am also French and also sophisticated. Let us go on a date. Neither of these people are French or sophisticated. It was me doing a funny voice, as well as showing the horrors of dating online and what happens if you accidentally catfish yourself with 2 of your own accounts. But French people don't talk like that even. No one does. NordVPN can make you appear to be in France, but it doesn't make you French, as I've now found out. It can be used to improve security or give you more accessibility to the internet. I can watch all my favourite shows. Get yourself NordVPN today in the links below and maybe be a better version of yourself. Now that's shilling for you. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway, and March is no different. We have a Crusader Industries Mercury Star Runner. This multi-crew, multi-role, cargo and data running ship is my favourite ship in the game. It has loads of little smuggling holes. It's got a good amount of armament. It can do a little bit of everything in the game at the moment. To be in for a chance of winning it, just comment on any of my videos made during March. More details in the description below. Please consider liking, subscribing, and potentially even clicking that join button under my videos to help further support the channel. Share the videos around with your friends and family. You'll occasionally get exclusive videos, posts, and polls that help influence the channel, along with emotes and badges to show your support. It really does help. There's also a Patreon and direct donations tool for those inclined. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you have a great March 2022!